Hello, since the attributes have suffered big changes, several items that we will use to influence our character status or power have changed as well. And I mean on their purpose, effectiveness, or only their description has changed to fit within the recent changes that 3.0 update has brought, so everything could become more balanced and make sense, becoming compatible with the character's current attribute system and what will show up in your screen once you are using these items. Many of the consumables you can find in the game, like potions and foods, work now towards the effectiveness of the weapons that you are currently using, since also the weapons were adjusted as well, as they were divided in two types, the strength-focused weapons and the agility weapons. If you spend attribute points in your strength attribute, your strength weapons will benefit from that, causing more damage on your enemies. If you spend more points in agility instead, agility-focused weapons will deal extra damage. But if you wear armor pieces or take consumables that offer you buffs related to agility or strength damage, those weapons will deal even more extra damage. Of course, if you distribute the points between agility and strength through both attributes, okay, both attributes will actually benefit and the weapons of two types will also help each other. So try to distribute things in a balanced way, alright? Also pay attention to the fact that anything you consume or wear will not give you extra attribute points anymore after this patch 3.0 is out, but you will still benefit and get buffs from those items as intended. As I've mentioned, the weapons were divided in two categories, the strength weapons and agility weapons. For example, the more strength points you put into your character's attributes or things you do towards the strengths, the more damage you will deal with your strength weapons. I'd like to mention that the weapons that would previously deal negative effects will keep dealing those effects, like bleeding, cripple, and so on. Armor pieces have gone through some adjustments, even though most of them still have the same properties they had before the patch 3.0. Specifically, the armor pieces that used to give you extra strength attribute points will be providing extra strength weapon damage after this new patch instead. And the pieces that will give you the agility attribute buffs will now be focused in helping dealing extra damage with agility weapons instead. There were some changes in several different kinds of armor pieces descriptions. For example, the armor pieces that will provide bonus encumbrance now will provide carrying capacity, which is the same thing, only the name for this bonus has changed really. The armor that will provide bonus vitality, now in their description you will see the word health and the exact value each piece will give you while you have it equipped. Same thing between the grit and stamina. Some armor pieces have received a new type of effect, to be in harmony on how you will rule over your followers. Those pieces will now make your followers dealing extra damage against enemies. About the consumables, let's start with the elixirs you are already familiar with. Elixir of Vigor. Like before, this elixir will keep giving you a vitality buff, offering you 60 health points into your health bar, and the value will show up in the user interface at the left top of the screen, so you don't have to check it under the stats tab if you don't want to. You will not receive the vitality attribute points like before, but it is not necessary because this elixir is still doing its job as intended. By the way, the elixir's effect timer didn't seem to have been affected. Elixir of Might. This one always worked towards improving your strength, and it still does, but it will now apply that extra strength directly into your strength-focused weapons to make them dealing more damage. pretty much like any other consumable that will offer you strength weapon damage. And I think like before, when you were strong, you would still apply your force towards what you were using to defend yourself, to fight against enemies pretty much. So I guess nothing much has changed, just the properties of what you're using in combat. So guess it's just a few adjustments overall. Elixir of Numbing. This elixir will still help you dealing with your weight limit or encumbrance. In the description, the bonus encumbrance expression was replaced by carrying capacity instead, which is pretty much the same thing. So let's say it was a matter of updating really the text, nothing much more than that in my opinion really. Elixir of Grace. Instead of providing you extra agility attribute points, the Elixir of Grace will work towards your agility weapons damage, giving them some extra damage for a limited amount of time. Elixir of Freedom. This elixir will keep providing you extra stamina points, but it now specifies the exact stamina value in your user interface you will receive temporarily. There were some significant changes to certain elixirs and potions, and also a new addition. The Elixir of Enduring will no longer give you a grit buff. Instead, it will increase your armor defense by 50. Since the accuracy attribute was removed and merged with other attributes, the Elixir of Sight and the Hunter's Potion have suffered changes too. Now both will allow you to cause extra concussive damage on your enemies. You may still use them if you are carrying a bow, if you want to. The Tears of Gula elixir was added to the game, which will increase your follower damage by 12%. The Lotus Potions went also through the process of adjustments. With the exception of the Yellow Lotus, all of these Lotus Potions will make you drunk as usual, so heal yourself over time or consume a potion that will heal you from alcohol poisoning if you prefer. I have noticed that the Lotus Potions can cancel the effects from other potions and such, so try not to mix them. I think it was this way before anyway. Grey Lotus Potion. This will now only help you dealing extra damage with your strength weapons if you are using any. Black Lotus Potion. At the cost of giving you an insignificant amount of corruption and also poison you, so I'm wondering why you would choose to drink this one instead. Golden Lotus Potion. This will now give you only a stamina buff and may increase your charisma, just in case you were asking for it. Purple Lotus Potion. This one will make your followers deal a small amount of extra damage on enemies. Frost Lotus Potion. This potion is a jack of all trades, as it can give you a different kind of buff every time you consume one, or no buffs at all. It is a matter of trying your luck with this one. You can get from extra defense to extra carrying weight capacity with this one, or even extra agility weapon damage. I will still play safe and go for other options or elixirs that can provide exactly what I want. There are a few more consumables out there that you can also try and see what they do, but now let's talk about foods and drinks in general, alright? I suppose most of the drinks and foods should keep working as they intended to work, as before, but with adjustments needed according to the attributes and gear changes of this new update. If you have consumed some kind of food that gives you extra strength or agility weapon damage, while you are still under the effect of the same buffs coming from a potion you took recently, then that effect from the food you ate will stack with a potion or elixir effect, which is great. Not only food, but there are drinks that will also benefit your weapons used in terms of damage too, like the jungle grog for example. Consume it for around 15% agility weapon damage, or of course the effect is temporary, but it's always useful. This effect from the drink will not stack with the same effect obtained from other drinks or food stove, okay? Only potions or elixirs that provide you the same buff, alright? For example, other consumable that will benefit your weapons use is the exotic feast. If you are wearing strength weapons, this food can be cooked at a stove once you unlock a certain kind of cooking feat or find this dropped in the camp. Some foods will benefit you in your carrying capacity, but in general both foods and drinks will do what they used to do on your character before, only some give you buffs. If you consume some with different effects, then you will receive all of those effects at the same time, as it used to be before, nothing really new, alright? You will see some changes just on the description, others were really adjusted because you won't be giving things directly into your attributes points, and that's all. Alright, and that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope some of this info was useful. Let's see what else is going to be adjusted from now on. Anything is still prone to change. Goodbye.